Hi, I'm Hunter. I'm going to be showing you today how to change out pegs in your violin, process for it, along with restringing, and if we have time, replacement of the bridge. But I have 4 of these unused pegs. These are actually viola pegs, but they are thick enough to fit through the peg holes in this particular violin. We've got this item here is a peg reamer. We're going to use it to round out the holes. And here is a peg shaver, and this is going to be used to fit the final diameter through the holes for the new pegs. So first of all, we're going to start taking off the strings, tighten the violin down. This is a violin cradle. You hear that sound on there, that cracking sound, that means the pegs are not round anymore. The holes are not round anymore. So let's go ahead and take these off. When I'm doing this, I always remove G, and then E, and then D, and then A. Always do that first. In this particular violin, we'll probably have to reset the sound post when we're done as well. And I'll show you my tools for that when we get there. This particular violin is a old turn-of-the-century trade violin. It's pre-1890, because in 1892, just a moment here, in 1892, the United States government required all imported goods to have their country of origin put on the label. This one does not have that. Tailpiece. We're going to remove some of these fine tuners as well. Alright, we're ready here. Let's start with G. So here's the difference between these. You can see how this fits in here. It's in all. It starts to fit in. We're going to go ahead and start reaming it out though. I'm going to widen this hole a little bit. Give it a few turns to just round everything out again. This is a pretty common procedure. Okay, hold it nice and round. We'll test it here. It can almost go through. So now we are going to take the peg shaver, get it fitted in here, put it in the vise over here. The peg shaver is really just a fancy pencil sharpener. This particular one is a little fancier than normal in that I can adjust to any thickness. Yeah, we just turn it and shave it a little bit at a time. And this item on the top here is pressing down as it shaves. It's all done by feel. So we shave that down a little bit. Come back over here, test our fit. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm going to shave it down some more. Let's check that again. Okay. That's in exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead with sandpaper here. I'm going to sand it lightly, smooth it out a little bit. Take off any little rough edges left from the razor here and the peg shaver. Move to a smaller grit. Check the fit again. Okay, it's getting better. Now I'm going to use some of my straps here to polish it a little bit. Ordinarily I would use a piece of carpet, but I don't have a piece of carpet down here. Check the fit again. Okay, I'm bringing it just a little bit more. Very softly. Take our freshly fitted peg back in there. Turn it quite a bit for a while. Get used to spinning in there. And we'll mark where we want to cut it. Okay. And later on we'll take that over to the bandsaw. We'll cut it on the bandsaw. For now, we're going to take a little piece of a chunk of ivory soap, and we're going to apply some to the peg, smooth it in, and then it turns smoothly. It lubricates it a little bit. Don't use any other soap other than ivory soap. Okay, now we have one completely finished. We'll go ahead and do the D peg next. Ream it out a little bit. Make sure it's round. Be able to take the heavy shank peg. Just a little more reamage. Check the fit. Okay, I'm going to take it back over here and pin it down. Almost there. Peg shaver's getting blocked here. Okay, back in the shaver. always need to remember to periodically clean the shaver out a little bit. Here's what we're taking off with the peg shaver. Just hair thin shavings. Okay, let's stick it through. Almost there. And shave it a little more. Okay, check it again. Okay, pretty decent. Sometimes I'll change which hole I'm doing, or which one I decide I want it to be in. Turn this way now. Go ahead and go after this A peg hole. A little bit of ream. Okay, and that peg actually fits better there in the A, so we're going to leave that there in the A. Smooth it out a little bit. Soak it a little bit. Okay, fits nicely. Ream out the E hole over here. Check our fit. Okay. Out just a little. See, it gets clogged up in there. Ordinarily, I save this stuff and powder it up, but we're not going to do that today. Okay, now back in the vise. Take our peg. Apply a little bit of downward pressure, which is a constant downward pressure because every time you turn it, it becomes a smaller radius all around. Okay, let's check that. Okay, it fits in. Let's go ahead and do a little more. Clean this out. There we go. And we'll go ahead and check that. And it's almost where I want it. I want them all about the same length, sticking out about the same length. Okay, excellent. A little bit of smoothing. A little bit of soaping. And then we have the D peg in there. We've got G, E, and A in there. Now we're going to go ahead and do the D peg one more time. Clean this out. Okay. Bring it back up, fit it in there lightly. Start turning. My blade is starting to become a little dull, so we should be able to finish this up before we have to sharpen it. Okay, almost. Getting close. Okay, let's check that. Almost. Okay. All right, let's check again. Just about there, and then ream it just a little more. A couple of turns. Here's what the tapered reamer looks like. It's skinning on one end. So the tapered reamer, skinny on one end, fat on the other. A couple of cutting blades in there. Check it. Almost exactly where we want it. Alright, and there we go. We have 4 of them fitted in there. Next, all we have to do is drill the holes so the string has to go through, and cut off the excess. we have pegs done and shortened. So we're going to go ahead and put them over here. We're going to round out the edges a little bit from where we cut. I'm not too worried about making these look pretty. But I do like to have rounded edges. Good, okay. Alright, excellent. And here's what they look like in there. Not too bad. All nice and evenly lengthened. So next we're going to go ahead and put in the strings. I'm putting a set of dominants on. A little bit more of a nicer string. Get the bridge out and the tail piece. I'm going to be taking these fine tuners off because they do not work well with this tail piece. Are Whitner style tuners. Very common. I'll show you up close here once I have them all off. I'm going to be replacing it with a post style tuner. Replace 4 of these with just 1 for the E string. Reduce as much weight as we can. Okay, so I'll put this one back together and show it to you. So this is a very common type of tuner. They're very strong, they last a long time, they're hard to break. They're a little heavy though. The screw goes down, and as it goes down it pushes this up, which pulls string back to itself. We're going to replace it with this kind. So much smaller, more compact. We'll get that fitted onto the tail piece here. Nice, and it fits up under here like so. So it's very sneaky looking. This comes on top of it and keeps it secure. Screw goes in on top. And it's ready to go. Okay, when it comes to stringing, I like to go the same order I took them off. So I put G on first. pegs turn so much nicer now. Okay. Fits up in there. Pull it down, get the bridge set. I don't think we need to put a new bridge on this one today. Okay, that's good. So that's G. Next we're going to do E. And there's a practical reason for going this order, because it's the order these pegs are in: G, E, D, A. If you do A first, then you have to try to fish the strings underneath of the tight strings, and it's just not a very easy thing to do. Okay, and here we have a slight problem in that we need to remove this little piece of brass. So I need to find my little tool for that. We need a loop end, but this is a ball end. Alright, unfortunately, this ball is not like the usual balls which can come off easily. So instead we're going to have to replace the this hill style post with this one. I don't like these as much, but this one will grab a ball and string without us having to take the ball off. And the tail piece sits up high enough that I think we can get away with it. So slip this up, slip this over it. A little slot it falls into. Screw it down onto there. These are a little heavier, which is why I don't like them as much. But it'll work for now. And they changed the string angle as well. So I'm not a big fan of them, but I'll use them when I have to. And this tailpiece is just so interesting that I don't want to convert to a different tailpiece. Okay, got that. Fits right on there nicely. Put a little plastic protector on the bridge. Tighten down. Reposition the bridge a bit. Okay, continuing on, we're going to go to D string next. Okay, we hook it in. Make sure it's in the slot. Okay, now we only have the A string to go. When you're putting strings in, you always want to wind them so that they end up being next to the sides of the peg box. That helps them stay in. And we hook that up in there. Some of these are not the easiest to hook in, so we are going to go ahead and use this item. This is actually a soundpost setter, but it can grab just as easily as anything else. Alright, we'll tighten that up. Keep our bridge straight. These pegs turn almost as nicely as a fine tuner does now. Okay, straighten out the bridge. This is an awkward position to tune in, so I don't recommend it. Okay, we're going to have to go ahead and just take off the fine tuner completely. It is not working the way we want it to work. And the Whitners are too short to be of any effective use on here. So for now, we're just going to go with a no fine tuner setup, which, if you're comfortable using your tuning pegs, is not a problem. If you are scared of your tuning pegs, then it will be a problem. Okay. Okay, there's that piece. Okay. Comes up, goes in, tune it up. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the cradle now. Give it a proper tuning. Alright. And there we have it. New pegs, new strings. And that's what happens when you